Welcome to the Chaos Sector. I am Jaren. In today's episode, we address the latest hoax regarding Dave Chappelle. Chappelle was so-called attacked by some random guy, who rushed the stage of Chappelle's Netflix special, a part of the quote, Hollyweird Bowl. This bowl is an event held in Hollyweird Hills of Los Angeles, California. Chappelle was so-called attacked by a man named Isaiah Lee, who wielded a gun and a knife, or better yet, a gun knife. A gun knife? What the hell is that? That's interesting. Someone crafted a knife blade as a bullet? What did he intend on doing? Shooting Chappelle with a knife blade? So, you wanted to kill Chappelle? Well, why didn't you just shoot the damn blade bullet from the crowd? I'm pretty sure he tested it out several times, right? Just pretend to enjoy the show, pull out the gun knife and shoot the comedian on stage. Oh wait, it wasn't even a real fucking gun, and that explains everything. Fake story. Why wouldn't you just have a pocket knife? Why crazy glue a knife blade onto a fake gun? It doesn't have any logical reason behind it, but there has to be a symbolic reason for it. The media made sure to mention how Chappelle was accused of being transphobic, as many sought to have him cancelled. Now examine how quickly a hoax, and the backstory of a hoax, is rapidly produced within days. For reference, we examined screenshots from News One, some useless platform pushing socio-political nonsense. Nina, take it away.
Gotcha. Quote, the comedian has ruffled some feathers in recent years for his comedy material, but it was not immediately clear if Lee was among those who have taken umbrage with Chappelle's jokes. Nor was it clear if that's what compelled him to jump on stage and tackle Chappelle. What was clear though, is that Lee, an apparent aspiring rapper who rhymed using the moniker No Name Trapper, recorded at least one rap song disparaging Chappelle. And made at least one other song in which he rapped about walking straight into the bowl, which could be a reference to the Hollywood Bowl where the attack took place. Unquote. All trash garbage filth. Of course it's a reference to the fucking Hollywood Bowl. What other bowl is the weirdo talking about? They had to make it seem coincidental, to avoid the narrative of it being pre-planned years prior. If he publicly made songs about Chappelle, to the point of threatening him in his music, how was he unknown? He would be well known simply off mentioning Chappelle in his music in connection to his comedy specials. Let me explain more in depth. If someone makes a song about a celebrity, on such platforms as SoundCloud, it will go viral. When it goes viral, this person becomes either famous or infamous. Translation, Isaiah Lee was damn near a celebrity himself when the attack occurred. Which segues us to the point they even went as far as advertising this weirdo, by sharing a link to his SoundCloud. This was about this individual gaining popularity, and selling out to the secret society, as just another desperate zombie looking for fame. He mentioned the Hollywood Bowl years prior, so this means it was all set up. And the very moment that he jumped on stage, was when Chappelle states, ladies and gentlemen. This was the code word, or signal for Lee to jump into action. Ladies and gentlemen, would be a code word for the narrative pushed regarding the motive behind the attack, Chappelle being transphobic. Chappelle was in on it, all other sellout comedians were in on it, all to fool around, while the audience believed it was real. The report claims that Lee was assaulted, and his arm was broken from the attack after he was captured. Now, let's examine the right arm that they claim was broken. As you see, it is not broken, he simply has the arm protruding out to make it appear to be broken. Lee, put your arm outward for the shot, relax, get ready, stay calm, keep it steady, okay, bingo, that's the shot. In several other shots, the arm obviously is not broken, since he has both arms handcuffed behind his back. If his arm was broken, how could the right arm be comfortably placed behind his back here? But for the fuckery, they release edited photos of the arm distorted, appearing to be broken. And in their attempts to make it appear real, they even had video editing as well for the so-called live feed of visual evidence the arm was broken. But if someone has a broken arm, why would you handcuff that very arm to the gurney? You would have to nurse the broken arm, by having Lee place that arm across his chest, just like a fucking arm brace, which he had on in court. I'm sick of this shit. Do you know how painful a broken arm is? Well, doesn't seem to affect Mr. Lee, maybe they gave him painkillers. No photo of him screaming in agony with a broken arm? All bullshit garbage. If you notice, the paramedic to the right side in yellow, is literally standing there allowing the photo to be taken. It is not a mugshot, it is not a photo taken from a detective, it's the fucking paparazzi taking the photo. Since this would be considered a crime scene, the paramedics and the authorities would not allow paparazzi to take photos. But they are standing there, with a suspect who could have severely injured, or even murdered Dave Chappelle, and they are allowing the paparazzi to take photos? Well, if you want to display the puppet to the world in the hoax, of course there will be tons of photos. Easy to break down. Back to you, Jaren.
Thanks, Nina. also notice how the political angle was wedged into the incident as well. And more from that News One bogus site, they found a way to blame Donald Trump for Chappelle being attacked by Lee. Sharing a link from The View, who blabber their filth on daytime television. Of course, can't leave the orange puppet out of it, they need the trigger factor. They claim that Lee was a Trump supporter, and Chappelle called the orange puppet racist. So of course, The View and their scatterbrains somehow claim it's Trump's fault. This is all brain-dead, derp, bogery. Listen to the madness.
What do you think is happening? I mean, it's happening on airplanes. It's happening on street corners. People are just running. I mean, the Hollywood Bowl, just ran up on there.
Things that could contribute to what's going on, the pandemic, the opioid crisis, the fact that Trump was out there saying things like, just knock the hell out of them. I promise you I'll pay for the legal fees when he had a heckler. I mean, there are many factors involved here. And then Will Smith was like the pièce de résistance, as it were. But by the way, don't you love comedians? Look at how they handled it. It was great. Give that boy...
Wait a minute, did you hear what Behar said? There was one word that has been used as a racial slur against black men, listen once more.
Look at how they handled it. It was great. Give that boy...
Behar states, quote, give that boy, and then she quickly corrected it to, give them a hand. Behar showed her prejudice towards black people here, and I'm guessing Whoopi Goldberg picked up on it. But due to the agenda pushed on this show, Whoopi would not confront her about it, as Chappelle is the center of attention. The irony, attempting to slander Donald Trump as racist, yet Behar calls Chappelle, a grown fucking man, who is black, a damn boy. Referring to an adult black man, who is also a Hollywood celebrity, as a boy, shows what Behar thinks about black men. Regardless of their accomplishments, regardless of their class, their status, nothing will change how she perceives black men. Hiding behind the left's control of media, Behar had a moment of complacency, where she expressed her true feelings about black people. This so-called slip-up was coming from the subconscious mind of Behar. Meaning, this is what she feels deep down in her core. And it was revealed for all to witness.
Look at how they handled it. It was great. Give that boy...
Okay, good. This is not a political thing. Come on, I know you want to wrap it all into politics, but this is really about security. Like, I don't understand it.
Why, it didn't happen before. It's happening.
Will Smith wasn't particularly right-leaning and running up on the stage and smacking Chris Rock.
No,
yeah,
but I do think that Trump unleashed some incivility, at least, in our
and we
country.
don't know anything about this person that went up there.
No, but
and
wait a
tried to
second.
attack.
You don't notice that there's a certain amount of impulse control lacking in the population
And a
these
lot
days?
of studies attained or said that was in particular in regards to people being locked down inside, not in particular being locked down inside and staring at
Well,
President Trump.
Trump really, he made the hand down.
One person who had some integrity stated it was not political. But because The View is all about the drama, they continued to double down on the narrative it was Trump's fault Chappelle was attacked.
Trump really, he made the hand down.
Because Isaiah was in fact, a Trump supporter. Lee was not a Trump supporter, he is just another pawn used for political mudslinging. If you check the SoundCloud, this no-name trapper has only 7 followers, and of course this will go up by the end of this year no doubt. It was all planned years ago, but seems so insignificant at face value. But the plan is deeper than just some brain-dead rapper trying to become famous. This is about, wait for it, the 2024 presidential election. Yes. Remember, Dave Chappelle is not a truther, he uses that as a way to resonate with the public. He is just another celebrity who plays the rebellious character against Hollyweird. The same with other sellouts such as Joe Rogan, Alex Jones, the list goes on. To be honest, never heard of this Hollywood Bowl, obviously it's not that popular. It's to generate interests for this festival, once again attempting to revive all comedians' careers. You have to keep in mind, Hollyweird has lost everything, even the comedians, who were the so-called voice of truth. The comedians are not funny anymore, not just because of the political correction, but also due to the actual political perspective in association to the orange puppet. They decided to ride the Trump is racist train, yet all of them enjoyed this very same person years prior to him running for president. This compromises the brute honesty that comedians are known for, they chose to compromise that honesty, and their careers were destroyed as a result. The individual who so-called attacked Chappelle appears to be an homosexual, or transgender, or simply known as queer. The agenda pushed here is Chappelle represents one who has common sense and decency, and will be attacked due to his views on such issues in society. Yet, this would align him more with being a Trump supporter, but he stays on the left side when it comes to politics. You know why? Because the liberals are his main base support, believe it or not. And, they write his checks in Hollyweird. Everything so-called controversial Chappelle says, is scripted to be stated. He doesn't have quote, free will to speak on issues, even if they are controversial. It is all to play into the rebellious comedian image, which makes him even more famous, which makes him even more money. I wouldn't be surprised if Chappelle votes for Trump in 2024, just to be rebellious and cause controversy. Again. This is the chaos sector.